Hello everyone, welcome to the class of Signals and System. So in this course we'll actually learn how to deal with signals and how to deal with systems. So while talking about signal, we first know what does signal mean. Signal is something by which we actually transfer information from one place to another through any medium. That means if we use any kind of material, any kind of science, any kind of the electrical attitudes through which we can transfer information, we can interpret information, we can deal with information, that is actually signal. Okay, so for example, you were a person, you want to talk to someone. So while talking to someone, you actually you want to mean something to other people, and that is you usually do this with your voice. So in that case, the other person need to interpret what you are talking, what languages you are speaking with. So that means when you talk to people, you have to use something which is actually meaningful and which actually carries some information. For example, when you say hello, this term hello indicates something. You want to introduce a conversation with the term hello, and the other person need to recognize this thing as hello. You need to recognize the meaning of hello. When you are saying hello, the other person should understand what does hello mean. Okay, so you can also wave your hands to say hello. In that case, while you're waving your hands, that means the other person is watching you, and he actually knows what is the meaning of waving hands. Okay, so that means whenever you use anything, any object or any particular thing that actually refers to some information that you want to transfer, that is signal. And system is something by which we actually interpret the signals, we actually process the signals, that is actually a system. So through system we actually operate, or we process signals that in a way which we can understand what is actually what information that the signal is carrying. So while talking about signal, we must know what is the measurement of signal, right? So let's consider about the term money. For example, you have $100 in your hand, and you want to give this $100 to some other people. That means while you are having $100, it must worth $100, right? You understand? When you are giving $100 to someone, this $100 should be also interpreted as $100 to other people. Otherwise, if you give $100 to some other people, and that other people, if they consider this $100 as just a piece of paper, then this $100 will not worth as the $100 that you are actually referring. Understand? So that means it is also important to measure the signal. So while measuring the signal, we actually use some basic concepts, which is the worth of the signal. And the worth of the signal means actually we are actually referring the strength of the signal. That means the whatever the signal you are using, what is the strength, what is the measurement of that signal. So we actually measure the signal in two different ways. In basic ways, there are two different ways, and these are the signal energy and signal power. While talking about signal energy, what is the signal energy? Signal energy actually referring, we can actually get the idea of the shape of the signal, or the how is signal is built, and after the build of the signal, what is the size of the signal, excuse me, what is the strength of the signal. So these actually measurement is actually known as signal energy. So how we actually define a signal energy? You have a I'm giving you some other example. For example, you have a glass of water, right? When and the glass carries for example 100 millimeter sorry 100 milliliter water. The glass can carry 100 milliliter water. Okay, so when you are pouring water to this glass fully, that means that that glass can contain 100 milliliter water. So uh, how can you measure this 100 milliliter? You have to measure the volume of the of that glass. Okay, so if the glass is full, that means glass carries 100 milliliter. Or in other way, you can say you can put 100 milliliter water on in the glass, so that so that you can provide some 100 milliliter or some of 100 milliliter water to another person. Okay, that means it is important that how much uh, how much the volume of the water you are actually transferring to some from yourself to other people, like the thing likewise I told you about the $100 concept. If when you are providing $100, that $100 should be measured, right? Otherwise you are actually just transferring a piece of work or piece of paper. So similarly, if you want to if you want to transfer a gold bar from yourself to another, that gold bar should be measured. And while we measure signal, we actually measure the signal in the concept of the signal energy and the signal power. Okay, so what is signal energy? Signal energy is basically basically demonstrate the size of the signal, and we can determine the signal energy uh, uh, by the integration of that particular signal. For example, when we are transferring a sinusoidal signal, that means this sinusoidal signal has a starting point and an ending point. For example, that means that sinusoidal signal is expressed with respect to time. That means whenever time is changing from 0 to t, the wave is going up from 0 to certain amplitude, then again it is moving down from that amplitude to the negative amplitude, then again it becomes 0. Okay, uh, so that means how can we actually determine the size of the signal? For example, the signal is termed with x. That means if uh, if we express the signal, if we want to express the signal in terms of mathematical term, we can use this x of t. When we're talking about x of t is actually a sinusoidal signal, and how can we determine the energy of that sinusoidal signal? What we'll take, we actually, if signal lies from 0 to t, that means we have to integrate that signal 0 to t with the signal expression with the square of that signal expression, and we have to integrate that signal, the square function of that signal with respect to t. This is how we can actually determine the signal. That means uh, 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 with the energy signal, we actually determine the area of area under the curve of that particular signal. That means we know with integration we actually determine we can determine the area of that particular function, and with the x square we actually referring the volume. That means whatever the signal volume is, we actually determine. When it is a three-dimensional thing, we can express the size with the volume. Similarly, while referring energy, uh, although this energy is not a three-dimensional thing, but we actually express energy with this square root, so that we can definitely identify the actual size of the signal, actual strength of the signal. And if the signal is xt, we take x square t, and we integrate this x square t with respect to t from that particular domain, and this is where we can find the energy of that signal. And while talking about power, we actually take the average of that energy. That means if it is a sinusoidal signal moving upward to downward and going from 0 to infinity, t equals to infinity, and this particular case, we cannot if we want to take the energy will come zero, either zero or infinite based on the function. So in that case, if we actually offer another measurement technique, which is power, that will take the average of that energy. This way we can actually find out a finite value of that particular signal, and that's why we use signal power. So the bottom line is we calculate signal energy with this expression, and we calculate signal power with this expression. Uh, I actually suggest you to study these articles. I mean, the lecture note that I have already provided you. From that lecture note, study what is signal, what is system, what actually we are referring signal, what system actually doing with the signal, and how can we measure signal, and uh, what are the measuring technique of signal energy, and what is the measuring technique of signal power. In This is actually today's lecture for you guys, and next day I'll deal with some mathematical problems of this signal energy and signal power, and what is the significance of signal energy and signal power. And I actually suggest you to go through this lecture note and study 1.1-1 and 1.1-2, these articles. I hope this will be helpful for your understanding, and we will proceed further from our next class. Thank you so much for your listening. I hope you'll learn something from this lecture. Thank you so much.